Hi everybody, I am Martin Harper. I am the owner of GMD Online and the creator of the Pegasus Engine CORE RPG that you can see above me here on the screen. Today's video is going to be about character creation. Someone's asked, what is it like to create a character in the Pegasus Engine and how does it differ from the original CORE RPG that we created? There is a slight difference, although it does follow a similar process. So without any delay, let's dive straight in and I'll show you the steps. So to start with, there are 10 steps noted in the book. There is an additional step that's got to go in, which is to include virtues and vices. So we'll do them as well to show how they will affect the character creation. So the steps must be followed in order because there are restrictions in each step of what you can and can't do. And if you go back, you could potentially forget what you did in what step. So step one, we've got to choose a race. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be a character. You need to have a character concept already in mind. So my character concept is, his name's going to be Paladin, which is one of my old characters that I like to play. Paladin, now. And Paladin is a human, so that makes that part of the process easy to choose. So I'm going to be a human, and Paladin is he's going to be like a paladin warrior, but he's a bit of a leader of his team, the Azure Knights. So I think I'm going to make him a tactician when we come to that part, but he's armed with a sword and a shield and wears chainmail armor and his tabard of his order over the top. So I know that he has short brown hair, blue eyes. Yeah, he's about 5'11" and slightly, yeah, 5'11". There we are. We got a rough description of what he looks like. Although you do that at the end, I just wanted to get it out while I was here with my concept. So with the race, I would consult my book, and it tells us that humans have +1 in 3 stats. All races tend to have fixed stat bonuses or minuses. Humans have a +1. So I think what we're going to do is, he's definitely going to be a combatant. So we're going to put up a +1 for combat. Because he's a tactician, I'm going to give him +1 for mind. I do want him to use a bit of magic, but we'll see what we're like with points and things, that choices that we got. Let's give him a +1 to physique. There we go. So he's got a few more hit points. So that's what I'm going to put that. It also allows us to choose 1 perk. Now on the back, we've got the perks here, the perks list. I think because he's a tactician, I'm not going to be able to get certain perks. We go for counter attack. Here we go. It's going to be level 1. There we go. I don't need to put rules in now, or the page number. The part of the character sheet here will also be changed slightly because it's not got the turn-based mechanic added to this. So there we are. That's my human perk. Is I'm going to have counter attack, and it's going to be level 1, which will come in handy for battles. So step 2 is we choose our role. Now I'm just going to consult the book, make sure I've got everything correct for my role. And I said I was going to be tactician, so I'm just using the old core book because that's got all the, it still follows a similar pattern to that. So step 2 is to choose role. I've gone for tactician, and tacticians gain +1 dice increase in mind, so that goes to D6, and combat. That goes D6. So it was a good choice of the pluses. Now I can choose 2 specializations from the combat group and the mind group. He is going to have 1 handed edged, and I'm going to put in brackets com to show that that's a combat specialization. And so that's going to be at D4, just level 1, and I've got another level 1 on a separate specialization. Let's go for battle law, which is always handy for giving my team momentum and keeping them going. So there we are, battle law. So we can't put the stat dice in yet because we've not finished the character creation, so we don't know what those values are going to end up. Okay, I get to choose 2 statistics. Because I'm a tactician, there are 5 stats that I can choose from. That's mind, combat, perception, stealth, and defense. So we are going to put up combat and mind. I'm going to take full advantage. The maximum you can go up to during the character creation process is D12. However, once you start earning character development points during the course of your adventure, you can spend them to increase this to any level you want. So I've gone for the D12. They're D8s at the moment. Then I get 1 specialization at +2 levels. Let's go for one-handed hedge. Let's bring that up. But again, it's got to be out of mind, combat, perception, stealth and defense, those specializations. So I'm going to put that to D8 because it's 2 levels. Then there's a battle law, or I've got 2 more I can do at +1. Because I've got defense specialization in that I attribute that's statistic that I can choose from. I'm going to go for block to use with my shield, and that's a defense, so I can choose that, and I'm going to get a level 1 at that. That's D4, and I'm definitely going to put my battle law up to D6. Okay, next I get to choose 2 perks from tactician corner of the book. So I will go for quick thinking. Oh, good perks. Quick thinking gives me my mind dice to the next dice roll when I activate that. So that's pretty good. I've already got D8 so far. And I think command, where I can then give my mind dice to my allies around me as a bonus as well. So a bit of a buffer as well for my party. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for command, and I've gone for... excuse the background noise. We are busy here in the studio. So I've gone for command, and I've gone for quick thinking. And that is it for roles. Of course, being a tactician, I know now that in my abilities, I can put tactician, level 1, provide a bonus dice to allies, MR, or initiative really. So that's what I get. As long as they can see or hear me, they get a level 1 bonus dice. So they can note that on their character sheet under bonus dice. Okay, so that is the end of roles. That was quick. Then I get to choose 5 specialization levels to increase. Anywhere, I can put all 5 in one and get a D12, brand new one. But I can't go over D12 during the character creation process. Let's think. Let's broaden his. We're going to give him spot, perception, and give that a D4. If you're used to the old core character sheets, you'll notice that we've got a larger specializations list here. We've expanded that. I want to put block up to D6, so that's 2 levels. A D10 into a combat. That's 3 levels. Theomancy. And I think that's focus based. Or is it mind? Ooh. Let me just double check. Focus based. So Theomancy is a specialization power group. So I can use all the powers that are listed under Theomancy. But I'm only going to get a D4 because he's only like a little paladin, so he's only got access at a low level. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And religion. Mind. He's going to know about religion and stuff because he's a holy man. Ooh. So that's it. So we got religion D4. So that's my 5 level increases. So my next step is statistics. I can put 5 stats up. Now I want to use magic. So focus gives me energy points. So I'm going to put that up D6. That's 1. I'm going to need some hit points. Let's put that at D6. I want to do some damage in battle. That up to D6. That's 3 levels. Oh, we're running out of place here. Defense can go up. And so far, I'm not going to act very quick. I'm going to have to put agility up. Oh, 5 levels gone. Just like that. I've still got some D4s there. Nasty. Okay. Ping on my screen now. Nice. Okay, so that's my 5 specializations and statistics done. I gain a new perk or a perk upgrade. So I could go and upgrade these to level 2 or one of them to level 2 if I so wished. However, I have taken the Theomancy power group, which allows me to access all the spells or powers in that group. So they're going to be all my prayers that my character can use because he's a paladin. So I'm going to need Weaver. And Weaver, I have to have Weaver activated as a soft action to access these powers. So if you take a power group, you must have Weaver. Alternatively, I could have bought some powers individually as stat dice there. But I'll go over all that in powers example. You'll understand how that works. So, that was my perk choice. And I now get +1 modifier. Right. So far my health is looking like 6. We got 6 + 1 there, 7. That's pretty good. I've got 6 focus. That gives me 6 energy, but I also want energy to move or recover hit points. I may put my +1 into there because my delirium's good, so he's got good mental health, but his physical health is just above average. But his power, his energy, yeah, I'm gonna put the +1 in there, bringing that to 7 instead of 6. There we go, 7. And active. This active box is for any powers I have active. So say I put up armor or holy shield, and while that is active, all the energy is stored in the active box, which means I can't regenerate it back. So to use for other things like maybe holy cosmic blast or something like that, holy hammer throw, or we'll see what powers there are. That's where I'm going to put my +1. So it gives me more energy to mess around with. I got a bonus selection now. Out of this bonus selection, if I scroll down in my little notebook here, past all of them. I need to get to power bonus selection. Okay, in the bonus selection, I can choose one stat level, or I could choose two specialization levels. So I can get new specialization or increase specializations, whatever I want to do with it. Or I can get a new perk or upgrade an existing perk. Or I can get 5 purchase power points, which allows me to get powers, which are outside the theomancy. This is how you get superpowers, special abilities, or a singular sort of spell that or multiple spells that you're very good, like you've learned, and you don't need Weaver to activate. You can just use them. +3 status levels. So that's health, delirium, energy, stealth health, and social health, which I notice I'm missing on the character sheet. So that needs to be changed. I can increase them, which I'm not going to do. I can increase the roll ability, like my tactician. I could increase that. Or I can get some bonus gear. With the Allies book, the AAE, you can get a sidekick. If you've got a vehicles and mounts guide, then there you can have a mount or a vehicle. Let me have a look. I think we got D4 there. D4. We already got 2D4 for our spot. He's not going to be any good at stealth. Socials D4. It's a little bit unlikable. He's not going to win in many social battles, like in courts and convincing guards, etc. I am going to go and put his perception, because he's got a D10 in it, one-handed edge when he uses a sword, D8 with everything else. So it's D10, D8 with a sword. And yeah, D6. Let's try and round him off a bit. Get away from those nasty D4s. They can be the unsung hero, but they let you down more times than not. So there we go. I got D6, D4 for spotting things, and D6 to hear and sense and stuff like that. So our next step, if I scroll past all these rolls. So we've done our bonus. Is record your status totals. So we can do that. Health is 6, equal to my physique dice value, which is 6. I've got a modified air +1, so it brings that up to 7. My knockout value is minus my health score, so it's -7. So once I reach -7, I'm defeated. Got to make some saves. Delirium is equal to your mind. I've got D8, so that's 8 +1 for the human, brings that to 9. Your race is the only time you get modifiers to your stats. So MV, madness value, will be -9. So he's quite sturdy. And we've already recorded energy, which is D6, and I had +1 because of my status increase. Okay, so that's that completed. Final touches. So the final touches are things like my initiative. So I need to work out my MR score, and that's your agility, add your strength level minus your physique level. So it's D6 is level 2, D4, D6. Strength, I've got 2, so that's 4, minus physique, which is 2, so that brings me back down to 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So that's a D6. D4, D6. Had my physique been D8, then I would be D4. So it'd be 2 plus 2 minus the 3 for the D8 would have been D4. But luckily I've got agility D6, strength D6, which helps me cancel out the physique. So the bigger the physique you got, the slower you are, unless you've got the strength or the agility to counteract. Okay, for specialisation, bonus dice, other dice, I didn't take initiative. You can get that as a specialisation. Very wise if you're a defender, where you tend to have an MR of D4. You can counteract that with a specialisation instead. bonus dice, other dice. So I've got nothing to give me any of that yet. So we just leave them blank. So we can now fill in our stat dice for one-handed edge is a D8. Got no bonus or other dice, and it gets +1. If I was a scrapper, I would have a bonus dice level 1 there, D4. Plus any that's down in my bonus here. So mind is D8, and I've also got a +1 in that. So we put +1. Defense for block. So let me zoom in on the character sheet a bit more here so you can see. There. So defense is D6. So I get a D6 in there, but I get no modifiers. My stats got no modifiers. I've got a perception of D6. So it gives me a D6 here. 0 there. Theomancy is focus based. That's D6. And religion is mind based. D8. And I've got +1 in there. So I can see straight away if the games master says to me, okay, make a spot check, spot perception check, because you always tell what the stat is, because if you don't have the specialization, you default to the stat only. So here I got spot perception, and that's D4, D6, and with no modifier. So I get D4, D6, roll them, choose the highest out of my dice pool, and that's my result. Okay. And it's all on there on the character sheet, so I don't have to keep looking all over my character sheet. It's all in one place. Okay, so we're going down to defense pool next. We know that our stat was D6. Right there. See? Specialization, we have block, which is at D6 as well. The reason why we're duplicating this down here is when you're in combat, you don't want to keep looking here, then look over there, then look down. It's all in one place. Damage resistance is equal to my physique, so that's D6. I've got a +1 in physique, so let's put a modifier over there. I've got no specialisation. I don't have endurance specialisation. I will have other dice because I'm going to get some armour. The same for defence pool, but we'll do that in a minute. Attack. So let's say that is a sword. So the sword is, we got D8 +1 for the stat, because it's always the first column of our dice pool. Specialization sword was a D10. Oops. And we haven't got any bonus dice or other dice here, because I haven't got any magic weapons yet. Hopefully I will, if the game goes well. Okay. There. I've got no bonus dice or anything yet. My abilities, I've done my abilities, my perks. I've only kept these text boxes here because I needed to be able to access these quite quick. Powers, I would list all my powers from the book in there if I wanted to. Or I'll just say in there, see page blah, blah, blah for Theomancy. I can't put a page number in there because I'm using the Core RPG at the moment for reference. We don't have page numbers for the Pegasus Engine until the end of the year. It's the last thing I do is the page numbers. Gear. So I want to buy some gear, and I get starting funds. We're playing in low-tech fantasy, so it's 250 plus 250 times social level. I don't think I can get my chain mail armor with that. It's because my social level is D4 level 1. So I've got 500 coins to spend. It's a bummer. But I don't come from a rich family or anything because my social level's down. Excuse me. Quick cup of coffee. So I'm going to need a sword. That's 300. So Needs to be 200. I'm going to put my sword in because I need that. So we go. So we got myself sword. Swords weigh. Take up 3 capacity. Scabbard. So there. My notes are. It does strength D8 for damage. So, excuse me. So I got strength D8. I wonder if where much is chainmail? Let's have a look. Can I get any armor? I do need my shield. Oh, chainmail's 200. That would clear me out. I do need a shield, however. Medium shield 75. So I'm going to get myself a medium shield. So I can use that block. And medium shield is 15. Left arm. Actually, we'll put that right. And there we go. It's carrying it. And it has got level 3. And that's block. It's a level 3 block. Okay. So what's that? It's 375. Then I could buy some loads of little bits like backpack and stuff like that. Excuse me. For travelling. Let's see if I've got any armour. I can afford leather. I'm only a starting character. Let's hope. I could get scale mail. But I do need like things like backpack and that. So I'm going to get myself some leather armour. And put the weight in for the leather. Takes up 10 capacity. Body. And leather gives me a level 3 damage res. Let's go in square brackets to stat. Okay. Then I'll spend the rest on little bits. I won't use that in time here, but why I bought those is to show you then where they go here. So defense ball, I would get a level 3, which is D8 from the shield. My damage resistance from my armor is now D6 because it's leather armor. Did I say level 3 down there? Oh, Games Master tell me off for that. All right, so it's level 2. And my sword, I need sword damage here. So I've got the attack roll, then we're going to need a damage roll. So there we go. Let's just steal that column there. So sword damage stat is strength, because it's melee. Perception for ranged. I don't have any specializations for doing damage. Bonus dice that don't apply. I haven't got anything that gives me bonus dice to damage. If I was ranged character, they gain bonus dice to ranged damage, so that would go in there. But my sword does D8. I just hope I hit hard and hit well. There, I'll do D8 and D6. Roll both those dice. Choose the highest to get my damage dice. And there we go. That was almost done. I then got a catchphrase. His catchphrase. Oh, let's just put his worst for his spiders. Aldane hates spiders, and when he gets across it, he suffers D12 hindrance. Goes to the enemy. So if he's fighting spiders and giant spiders, he's in a bit of trouble. His desires is, let's say he wishes to further, to protect. He's going to be a bit of a guy here. It's to protect Now, what does he desire most in the world? This is always the longest part, is the catchphrase. When I've seen this in my games, when players are making their characters up, it's catchphrase and their fears and desires, because it takes a bit of thought. He's going to be right-handed. Is his favoured hand. It just shows you where your combat arcs are. Doesn't want wealth or anything. To be blessed by the divine light. I don't know what the gods are in the campaign game he's going to be playing in, so we'll just put that there, the divine light. I'll put there, the divine are always watching. And he says this. So choose what your actions wisely. The divine are always watching, so choose your actions wisely. Actually, let's get rid of that there. Okay. So the catchphrase trigger, and he says this when confronted by a potential enemy. Can't spell adversary. Why have I put it in the title of the Adversaries and Allies book? I don't know. Oh, I've got a right hand there, so that's a right hand. There we go. Okay, so when he's ever confronted by a potential enemy who he believes wishes to do him harm, let's make it a bit more specific. Whenever I've got this situation, I can use my catchphrase. And when I use my catchphrase, I gain 1 momentum, and all my party that are present in the scene, so if we're split up or somebody's in a different room searching and I'm in this room with an ally confronting someone, anybody who's in that scene will gain a bonus dice to use whenever they want. So they just note it on there, and it can be used whenever they want. And once they've used it, it's discarded. So they gain a bonus dice when they hear my catchphrase. Okay, so CV is 0. I haven't earned any spent any character development points. My hero level's 1 because you start at 1, and your hero level equals to the 1 is equal to 1 plus 100 every 100 CV. So whenever you reach 100 CV, you gain another hero level. And hero levels, you use them during the course of the adventure to re-roll any dice pool. It can be yours, can be the games master's, can be your buddies, but you can only do it once per adventure. So, or quest, side quest, or whatever. Once you complete an adventure or complete a side quest, when you complete it, you regain 1 hero level. So if you're doing a big campaign and you're doing little objectives in that campaign, because they're built up of mini adventures, once you complete and are rewarded, you gain a hero level back that you've used. CDP, well, I've not earned any character development points because we've not played. Once we've played, that will spiral up quite quickly. And that is all the finishing touches and the equipment. Just making sure. There is one other step, and it's not on the character sheet yet. I've got to redesign, and it will probably come down here, and that's virtues and vices. So you would gain a virtue and a vice for your character. They're in the process of being created. So Aldane would probably choose the, and if I go to here, at the virtues and vices, there's 15 altogether. There's 15 virtues and 15 vices opposite to each other. So I would probably take Brave for Aldane, and Brave gives me a level 1 bonus dice to fear rolls. So if I go up here, and let's pretend that we've got this all set in, I can put in here Brave versus fear rolls only, and I get a level 1. So bonus dice, and that's fear. Fear, because that's what it's against. The stat it affects, it says the fear roll. And then his virtue, as that's his virtue, his vice. Let's say he's addicted. And why though? Maybe during the course of his adventure, he went out to defend the local town or village that him and his family lives in. And while they were being attacked, say, by goblin raiders, the goblins put all the villagers into the church, burnt the church down. Really horrific. And he's come back and he's seen it as an attack against his faith, an attack against his family, and he struggled with it, and he turned to drink. So he is going to be addicted to drink. So there go in vices. I haven't got a place here for it, so I'm just going to put it under description for now. Vice, but there will be virtues and vices on the character sheet. Addicted. I put alcohol. Okay. Drink. I can't spell alcohol. Look, oh my spelling and typing is awful. Right. So he's addicted to alcohol, and at the moment, could change. Says I suffer -1 social health to that. So that's going to bring my social health, which is missing on the character sheet, from 4, because it's equal to your social dice, to 3. That's not good. He gets a bit bad-tempered. Or if he's drinking, gets a bit overly loud and obnoxious. And there we are. That's going to be the new process of virtues and vices. There is nothing more there to do. My character's ready. All done. With explanation of each part of the character sheet. That took me half hour to make. If you already know what your worst fear and everything is, it takes you about 10-15 minutes to just make up all the choices of these stats. Really is that quick. But the longest part is buying gear, choosing your catchphrase, your worst fear desires, etc., and probably coming up with a background. Okay, so there it is. Don't worry about the character sheet for now. That's still under development as we complete the Pegasus Engine final details. We come in and we test it on the character sheet as we go. I've only just started to put the character sheet together. One last thing is my momentum at the bottom here. You are only able, because whenever you beat a dice roll by 10 or more, you gain momentum, which gives you re-rolls, bonus dice you can give people, temporary hit points back, that sort of thing, recover energy. So what I've got here, I got a mark how many I can take from one scene to the next. So from a combat scene to a role-playing scene to a pursuit scene, that sort of thing. Scenes I'll explain in a different tutorial. So I've got focus D6, which allows me, that's level 2, allows me to bring 2 momentum to mark. So I colour into the max per scene boxes to show that that's how many I can take. And as I get them, I just tick the boxes. I could have 5 in one scene, but at the end of that scene, I lose what I don't use and keep 2. So I lose 3, keep 2 out of 5. If I roll lucky, but no, my dice rolls 1s and 2s I am, and that is it. Okay, and that's creating a character. So I've just made Aldane Tactician, which is like a paladin, human warrior, with some spells, which is Theomancy. It gives me a whole range of spells that I can use. I've got my gear. Couldn't get the chainmail because my social level wasn't high enough. Had I thought about that, to want to start with chainmail, I would have upped my social level or choose rich during the bonus selection to get extra spending funds to then buy loads of stuff. But I've still got some cash there. I'm going to probably get backpack, some clothes and stuff like that, which don't cost that much. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. The next video I'm hoping to do will be about powers and also some simple tasks and stuff like that. So, thank you for watching if you've lasted this long. Bye.